Let's have a real conversation because I've been thinking about this for a while now. And as we inch closer to the start of training camp, one huge question just keeps eating away at me. Was the Chicago Bears' shot at landing Trey Hendrickson the exact pass-rushing force this team desperately needs, ever really alive, or has it already slipped through our fingers and into oblivion? Because if you've been paying attention to the smoke signals all offseason, there was a flicker, a brief moment when it felt like this thing might actually happen. And now, well, I think we all feel that same gut punch, that unmistakable silence that follows a door quietly closing behind us. The initial reports weren't nothing. Slick Rick Scoops, aka Ricky, the People's Insider, dropped a bombshell tweet saying 2 weeks ago he learned Hendrickson and the Bengals were still oceans apart on contract terms. The Bengals reportedly gave Trey a trade deadline in the spring, told him, go ahead, find a deal. And guess what? They didn't like what came back to the table, so that deadline came and went like a cold wind, and suddenly, boom, Trey's still in Cincinnati. According to Ricky, the Bengals don't seem interested in moving him anymore. Maybe there's a sliver of a chance, but it's shrinking fast. And instead, they may try to extend him, though no timeline is in sight. And look, you might be sitting there thinking, who the hell is this Ricky guy? I get it. I've heard the chirping, the doubters. But whether you love him or think he's just noise, this offseason he's been hitting at a high clip. He was early on the Jalen Ramsey trade, he was all over Aaron Rodgers to Pittsburgh chatter before it hit national outlets, and even threw out DK to Pittsburgh before the rumors caught fire. So yeah, he's not batting 1,000, but you ignore him at your own risk. And that brings us to the bigger issue. Not just about Trey Hendrickson, but what it says about where the Bears are right now and what they haven't done to fix the most glaring hole on this entire roster. And let's be honest, if Cincinnati wasn't asking for a first-rounder for Hendrickson, I'd have done the deal. Hands down. But I believe they were. That's probably what blew this up. They wanted a first, didn't get it before the draft, which was their best chance to cash in. And now, they're stuck in no man's land, debating whether to pay up or let this thing fester. And to be honest, Hendrickson doesn't sound like a guy willing to just play nice and accept a one-year $16 million deal when the edge market has exploded. Guys are getting $30, $35 million a year. Why would Hendrickson take half that? Why would he show up without long-term security when he feels like he's carried that defense at times and held up his end of the bargain? And here's the kicker. Jeremy Fowler reported recently that talks have resumed between the Bengals and Hendrickson. Encouraging? Sure, maybe. But there's still no deal, no clarity. And Trey's frustration is boiling over. This man showed up to minicamp just to go on record and tell the media that the Bengals have ghosted him. Said they promised to take care of him last offseason and didn't follow through. He basically confirmed his trade request, which we already suspected. So if you're Trey, what are you thinking now? The Bengals are telling you the trade ship has sailed, but they're also not paying you? Are you just going to accept that and show up? I don't think so. Not with the kind of leverage he knows he has. If you're looking at comps, guys like Danielle Hunter just signed a one-year $35 million extension. Trey's arguably in that ballpark. He may not get that same figure on a multi-year deal, but somewhere in the $30–33 million per year range on a 2- or 3-year contract with $70–80 million guaranteed? That's not insane. That's market value. And honestly, if I'm the Bears, I'd do that all day. I would have offered a day 2 pick, maybe tossed in a day 3 sweetener, and given him a 3-year, $100 million contract with $80 million guaranteed. Because let's face it, this team is in a 3-year window to compete while Caleb Williams is still on that rookie deal. If you're serious about making a run, you take big swings when the clock's ticking. But unfortunately, I don't think the Bears were ever fully in on Hendrickson. And that's what stings. Because this guy could have changed everything. You add Trey Hendrickson to this defense, and now you're talking about a legit top-tier edge unit. Montez Sweat becomes your number 2, which is his ideal role. Less pressure, more production, and then you've got a rotation on the interior with guys like Gervin Dexter, Zach Pickens, and Andrew Billings. Suddenly, you're deep and dangerous. But now you're walking into camp with a whole lot of questions and not a lot of answers. Because beyond Montez Sweat, who's stepping up? Who's really going to be your second edge? Dominique Robinson? Austin Booker? Daniel Hardy? That's concerning. Dio Odeyingbo might rotate inside. So then what? You're down to just praying someone surprises you. And that's a bad strategy when you're trying to build a contender. You look at the Raiders. They lack edge depth, but they have Max Crosby. Bears don't have Crosby. They have Sweat. Who's good? Not great. And behind him? Not much. You can't lack star power and depth. One of the two is fine. You can survive. But if you're missing both, you're toast. And while we're on Sweat, let's talk truth. There's this belief that when the Bears traded for him and paid him last year, they were getting this dominant force off the edge. And yes, he played well. But go year by year and you'll see he's not a consistent sack artist. He flashes. He's a phenomenal run defender, a better athlete than Clowney was in his prime, but he's streaky as a pass rusher. He's not TJ Watt, not Micah Parsons, not Myles Garrett. So unless Sweat has the best season of his life in 2025, this pass rush is going to be painfully average at best. And that brings us back to this off-season's edge rusher market. It's still loaded, just sitting there waiting for someone to make a move. Zadarius Smith, Jadeveon Clowney, Matt Judon, Von Miller, Preston Smith, guys who've done it, guys who could come in and at least raise your floor. I'm not saying those names are game changers, but they're proven. Clowney's got wear and tear, but as a third edge, sign me up. Smith, still good. Judon? I'd be down. Von Miller might be toast, but again, rotation guy. They won't break the bank. And with Montez Sweat and Dio in place, you just need someone to give you 20-30 good snaps a game. It's not about finding the next Reggie White. It's about building a competent rotation that gives you a chance in December when the margins are razor thin. And right now, this team doesn't have it. The Trey Hendrickson fantasy? It's dead. That ship has sailed unless some mid-season miracle happens. Like if he holds out into the regular season and things go nuclear between him and the Bengals. Maybe then, just maybe, he gets flipped before the trade deadline. But are we really banking on that? No. Let's be real. It's time to look forward. Time for Ryan Poles to make that late summer move he's become known for. Every year this front office finds someone. This year, it better be an edge rusher. Bring in Smith. Bring in Clowney. Hell, bring them both in, put them through workouts, and sign whoever looks better. You're not just looking for production. You're looking for leadership, presence, stability. That's what this group needs. You can't have an entire rotation of maybes. And that's what the Bears have right now. Nothing but maybes behind Montez Sweat. So yeah, Trey Hendrickson would have been amazing. He was the dream. But now, it's time to move on. Time to find the next best thing. This team's on the verge of something special, but only if the front office shores up the weak spots before they drag this roster down. Otherwise, we're setting Caleb Williams up to fight uphill battles every single Sunday, and that's not the plan. The plan is to win. The plan is to dominate. So Ryan Poles, clock's ticking. Go fix the edge. Now.